You'll notice the other day when I brought in a bunch of wood, I came down the ramp, and that's how I plan to bring it in. And that's one of the main reasons for the ramp. Which brings me to the next topic, my ramp door. Dad finally got it hung after we got some weather stripping for it. It's up on a barn door style track, which we had in the barn. And then the materials was stuff that we already had in the basement, kind of scraps from the rest of the project. So besides a couple pieces of 2-inch insulation, that was a pretty budget-friendly door. When I was thinking about the handle for the door, I thought, I could just get, a hardware handle, $3-4, slap it on here, and I envisioned the handle up here. But before the door was hung, I was thinking about it, and I kept walking up to it, kind of going like this, thinking, that's an awkward position, and it strains your arm to move a really big, really heavy door. So I thought, it would make a lot more sense to have the handle down here. It's much more ergonomic, much more comfortable. And then I had an old motorcycle handlebars off a dirt bike that was a little bent on one end, so I wouldn't put them back on a bike. But I'm repurposing them. So I've got motorcycle handlebars as my ramp door handle, and it works really well because it's big and strong and ergonomically in the right spot. On our ramp, I'm gonna have 3 snowmobile tracks. And that is, I'll have one in the center for the snowmobile and the dirt bike. So I can take them in and out and work on them down here in my basement or store them in the off season. I will have tracks to the left and right of that for walking down on your feet. So because the wood decking can be slippery, especially with a little grit on your boots. Or for taking the 4-wheeler in and out as well. So I could bring the 4-wheeler in to work on it or store it for the winter and keep it inside where it's nice and warm. Right now we've got the extension ladder in there, that's Dad's, that'll go back into his garage. And then it is cut out but not framed together yet or put a hinge on it, but in the middle of the ramp I'm gonna have kind of a trap door. So I can flip that open and then store out of season things like snow shovels or sleds or maybe like the porch furniture type of stuff. I might be able to shove that under the ramp. The ramp is just under 6 feet. I think the door is about just over 5 wide, and then it's 16 feet deep, so it's like a 17-foot long ramp. So there's quite a bit of space underneath it, and I didn't want to lose that. So I thought, hey, let's cut a door underneath it. So I've got a secret kind of trap door, and I can hide stuff that doesn't really matter and I don't need to access very frequently underneath the ramp. Ideally, I'd love to put an overhead garage style door on the outside and seal nice and tight. Right now we've just got some quickly framed up with scrap, just like shed style doors right now, which you can see the light shining around the edges of that. It is not the tightest of doors. That's an upgrade for the future, but being a narrower door, a 5-foot door, it was going to be a custom garage door, and it was still going to be like $600-800 that I didn't feel like spending right now. But we can always add that in later. So right now those doors will work. That's part of the reason why this is an insulated door, because that is an unconditioned space. We're not planning to heat that. There's no reason to. I'll probably insulate it so it will stay warmer than the outdoors for sure. And it'll almost be like an airlock. So it won't be heated, but it won't be frozen either. Since I was talking about wood, I thought I'd share that the rest of this wood pile is what you're seeing in the house. We are finishing burning the last of the wood that I cut during the initial clearing in 2016. In 2016, when we cleared this whole lot, we ended up with 12 cord of firewood. I sold 10 cord of that. And then I guess I sold another, maybe I sold 10 and a half. I sold 10 and a half cord of wood because this pile was all I had left of that stuff that had been seasoned a whole year. This pile was a cord and a half, and I'm just finishing that up now. So that means we've burned a cord and a half of wood with no insulation pretty much every single weekend since December 15th, I guess I'm not sure if I've burned a lot or a little. When I'm in there, I burn a lot, but I'm not in there very often. Next year, it'll be interesting to see how much I burn, because it's a very tight, very well insulated house, or will be. This was not the last of my wood supply though. I've got another 6 cord at the bottom of the hill. We had to clear for the septic, as well as a couple down trees due to storms and a few more along the driveway. And I think some of that came from the trees down at my grandparents. So a lot of that was split, or a lot of that was cut in the early spring, but it didn't get split until August, September timeframe. So it's not as dry as this that had a whole year to winter over and dry out, but it should be pretty good to burn. I just wanted to share that I hate tarps in the yard. I think it looks trashy and cluttered and not very beautiful at all. And I saw that in the last video. I had 2 tarps shown, and I see there's 3 tarps in the yard right now. I'll be happy to get those gone. And to tell you what's underneath them and why they're there, the blue tarp is covering our leftover shingles. The shingles that we need to cover the porch once it gets framed this spring. Under the yellow tarp is our LVLs, the beams used for the porch roof. So those will get used up this spring. The shingles will get used up this spring. And then over here, probably out of level on this camera, horribly bad. Let me fix that. Hey, that's better. And under the green tarp is all the pressure treated decking for our porch. So that explains why we have tarps in the yard. And I don't know if it bothers any of you, but it bothers me. And those will be leaving in a couple of months. I love winter. I snowmobile, I enjoy sledding, snowshoeing is fun. I love hot chocolate, I love the beauty of the glistening snow. I love the cold because that means I can have a wood stove going, and I love wood heat. However, this winter building a house, I have also appreciated the warm days a lot, and we've had a fair number of them. Today, one of them. Yesterday it was 32. Yesterday it was 34. Today it's 42. Tomorrow it's supposed to hit 50. And on Wednesday it's supposed to hit 60 degrees. So what little snow you're seeing now is going to be gone probably in less than 24 hours. It is really warm. We're having a lot of melt off right now. The roof is just about clear, so that's the last of the dripping.